man. How's everything with you?
Shit, good.
Nice.
I'm about to walk the lake right now, baby, right there.
Okay, right on. Yeah, I saw, I think right before Christmas, right? Right before Christmas, you had
right after.
Okay. I think you pulled the wrap off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the carbon looks good, so I mean, I could see why. What is it? 275. Okay, so 275s, and then so yeah, you have wider fenders, so you can get, was it 275 and 325, 30? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. What fenders are these?
Corvette Creations.
Okay, nice. The fitment was good and everything?
Perfect.
Okay.
No issues with them.
I like that steering wheel, damn. So here you guys, check this out. Just clean C5. And then, you know, the coupe, a lot of guys like the coupe. Some guys do not like the fixed roof coupe, which I was more of the, just liking the coupe at first. And then the fixed roof kind of grew on me. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I saw a couple of them. There was one, I think, in Sacramento. It was actually real clean. I think it had like 70,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's still not bad or nothing, so yeah.
I'm gonna find these side skirts. I'm gonna find this.
Yeah, so I can get you the information on these, because these wrap underneath. The only thing I don't like about this is when it comes time, because you know you got the jack points, right?
Yeah.
So these jack points you can get to, but the ones back here, the shit wraps underneath, like the body panel actually goes underneath that.
I'll chop that shit. I don't care.
Yeah,
I want the aesthetics. I don't need it to be all flat at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that was just, and then it deletes the rear brake duct, but I mean that's not a big.
I mean, I got mine, and I don't even have it in there.
Right, hooked up or anything.
Yeah, this is a Z51 package, so it had all the ducting and everything on it.
Damn, that NRG steering wheel. So you delete the airbag with that, huh?
Yeah.
Hurst shifter.
Yep.
I think that's a Hurst. It's just got the Delrin knob.
This thing it's just hella tight.
Yeah.
It's like notchy as hell.
Yeah, that's what I prefer. I prefer the real, you know, like the mechanical gauge.
Yeah.
I like the hood too, which gives you more clearance for, you know, the taller intakes, which, you know. So
yeah, I don't have a high ram on here. I got a fast 92.
Right. The high ram to me is not.
I just don't want to sacrifice my low end torque.
You got this big, you know, 7,500, 8,000 RPM motor. You really don't need it. Damn, fast 92. That's clean. There we go. And then that's a looks like a pretty big head unit.
Nah, it's a SI.
SI. Okay. So
yep.
Vortec or Vortec through A&A.
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay. Nice. And then this is a 400 8-inch?
402.
402?
So it's an LS2 base that punched out.
With the 240, you can see the 243 casting numbers.
Yeah, that's the limiting factor right now on this thing.
The heads?
These heads are like holding it back like crazy.
Yeah, a lot of guys like the cathedral port. Some people, but I mean, if you're just dumping air, you want the probably a little bit, I don't know if they're probably worked over. But if you're just trying to move air through them,
LS3 heads on this setup will just be
the runner, the bigger intake runner volume. And then this is this fuel system related?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, radium, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
It's custom surge tank.
Yeah, the radium stuff is straight race, but it's built like with safety in mind. It's over engine, like, you know, billet aluminum.
So in the tank, right now I have a 450. The 450 is filling the surge tank. The surge tank has a Wellbore 535 pump in it. Okay.
And then AN lines, and then what are these, American Racing or Cooks, somebody's headers?
These are
but you can see the C5 always has that little block off breather. I guess that was a small thing back in the day for it. So
damn, what's that company?
Stainless Works?
Nuh-uh.
Hooker?
Nope. It's another
Texas Speed?
Nope, it's not Texas Speed. It's a known company.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought theirs with the X pipe because they had like the bigger collectors and everything.
Right. Yeah, because you want at least a 3-inch, right?
Yeah.
And then you got
the 3-inch all the way back.
The DeWitt radiator, which is a must for cooling and shit. I know sometimes I hear some of these run hot, but when you got the upgraded radiator, you're running hot.
Yeah, I did the DeWitt's radiator and I did the Spall fan combo.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Only thing I would want to change right now is I would want to change the heads.
Yeah.
I'll do some LS3 heads or some aftermarket like AFRs or something for this if I wanted to keep the cathedral ports.
Yeah.
And then I would probably switch my surge tank setup around, because right now I have a single pump and it works, but I feel like that's the limiting factor right now. It's just been on a single pump. Right. So I would do like the O2 style tank, get a Ford Innovation dual pump setup.
That'd be a good move. I know for consistency, the LS3, because it's a GM casting, And sometimes these AFR and some like Trick Flow, some of these other manufacturers, they need a little machine work sometimes, and that all that does is just create headaches because it's extra person that got to get involved with it sometimes.
Anything right now will be better than these 243s. Like 243s on a 402, I just feel like it's way too small, especially a boosted application.
Yeah.
Like my C6 that's supercharged made like 100 more horsepower than this thing.
Right.
And it's stock.
Right. And I remember asking you this because like a newer chassis don't mean it's better. Like, what do you prefer? I mean, I know you said C6 is newer, but in terms of like just what makes you feel like, what do you have more fun in, I guess?
Honestly, both. I like both chassis. If I had to pick between the two, I'm gonna pick the C6 because it is newer. The interior and stuff looks better. Okay. The LS3 again, is just a better motor. Yeah. But like for like enthusiast reasons and like old school nostalgic vibes, like obviously I like the pop-ups. Yeah. I feel like the C5 has like more of that like race history. I feel like this is the car that set Corvette like apart. Yeah. Especially doing like the C5R times and you know, all the Le Mans races and shit like that, and endurance races. Hell yeah. Like this car. That's like, how they won a gang of races, and I feel like that's what kind of set them as like, all right, like Corvettes or something to look at. Because I don't feel like the C4 really. No. Like, you know, the C4, the C3s, and the Stingray was like, all right, cool, but I felt like that was more of like a seller's car for looks and stuff. But as far as racing goes, I felt like it really took off with the C5Zs. Yep, absolutely. They validated the LS for the street through the C5R program, and so yeah, I mean, I think and then now I think these personally, people are starting to look back like, oh shit, that was cool. Like a lot of people slept on them, and it's like they're actually cool. You know, they've always been cool, but for someone like me, I wasn't. For some reason, it just missed me. But now I'm like, okay, they're. I feel like it's a chassis that didn't age itself out of like existence. You know, some cars from the 90s, early 2000s, like damn, that car looks like an old car. Yep. Whereas these didn't age that bad. Right. If you looking underneath C5, 6, and 7, they're subtle underneath. Yeah. And that's how I'm like, oh shit, they really had, if they carried that from like late 90s all the way to like, you know, almost 2020. Yeah. So yeah, it was like doing it with like leaf spring combos. Yeah. Yep. And they were still effective. I mean, it's because I'm thinking like, man, because coilovers, once you start going coilovers, it's, you know, definitely a lot of changes that you got to make and stuff, but make more. It really depends on where you want to. It made 721 last time. Right. And right now, since on this redid same motor, exact same setup. Okay. The exact same combo as you see it. Nothing has really changed other than the injectors, and instead of the stage 3 boost cam, we swapped to a stage 2 cam. Right. So other than that, it's essentially the same. Like once we get it back on the dyno, it should still make the same 700. Right. You see in the passenger seat, I actually have a pulley. I was gonna pulley it up to lower the boost slow it down a little bit. Yeah, I think that's again, it's just, you know, how hard do you want to lean on it, and then where is that sweet spot where you can dog it but it don't break. I guess it was at 700. It was solid. I didn't have no issues with it. Only reason I want to lower is just because I feel like I really need to do another fuel pump. So right. I don't want to be on the edge of my fuel system. So it's like, yeah, it's always risk of detonation or leaning out or something. Or I mean, we finished the tune. Everything, like, it looked good. So yeah, everything looked good on the dyno. We finished it, but like up top, right at redline, we'll see the fuel pressure dip a little bit. Okay. So I was like, all right, but that was with a 450 pump. So since then, I swapped over to the 535 pump or the 525 pump. Okay. I did the hot wire kit, so the power for the surge tank no longer goes to the fuse box. It goes directly a hot wire kit off the alternator. Then I did the big 3 kit to, you know, keep the voltage and everything up for it. So before we lose a whole volt from going from the alternator to the fuse box, whereas now the fuel pump should be seeing like 13.8, whatever the alternator's charging at. So I think the 535 or 525 should get us over that hump. But because the fuel pumps are voltage, so they depend on the alternators. Yes. Certain level to charge. Yes. To be okay. If voltage reads low, then your pump won't work at full efficiency. Right. Yeah. So, there are I know a couple guys that are swapping because of that same thing. They don't want to run the alternator. Yeah. Or you thought about changing out the alternator to the voltage that Not really, because I don't really got music or nothing to hear like that. So I rather just keep like the OEM stuff.
Gotcha.
It charges pretty high. It charges at like almost 14.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I ain't really too worried about it. I just think we had a lot going on with the battery being relocated to the back, the surge tank coming here. So
yeah, I'm
pretty sure we lose a lot of voltage from that.
Yeah, big fan of the so meaning the wiring, the length of the wiring traveling across the car is sometimes voltage. Yeah. Whatever's here may not be at the receiving. For sure. Okay.
Shit, just from the alternator to the fuse box, we literally lost a volt.
Right. Okay.
So the alternator is charging higher, but the fuse box itself wasn't seeing exactly what the alternator was seeing. So if we had the surge tank powered off here, off the fuse panel, then surge tank was only seeing 12.9 or whatever, whereas over here we got a whole 13.8.
Right.
So it just made the most sense to hot wire the fuel pump directly to the alternator. That way it sees constant voltage and ups the amperage on the fuel pump to give it, a little bit more volume. Right. So we haven't got to get it back on the dyno since we did that. That's what I'm waiting for. But I already have the pulley in there. Like I said, it made 7+ before. It didn't have the issue with traction. It was reliable, solid. Still has AC. Didn't have any overheating issues or anything. Yeah. But it's just like, I have the C6. The C6 makes 800+, so it's like until I get the heads on this thing, it only makes the most sense to just like, all right, turn it down versus trying to shove a bunch of air in there.
Yeah, making heat. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So I mean, that's a good strategy. Then you kind of capped off your combination right now. So just just keep
limiting factor right now is the heads.
Right, that makes sense.
So just got done.
And then as far as swinging them, because I know you swing both of them. Same thing, you prefer to swing the C6 over this?
I definitely prefer to slide the C6 over the C5.
Okay, got you.
The C6 out the box has way more angle. This thing, the turning radius sucks on here.
Right.
Out the box, the C6 is a way better like drift car.
Okay, got you.
This thing will like need angle for sure.
Right.
Make a U-turn, you be like, ugh, the turning radius on the C5 is nothing compared to the C6. But I mean, this trans was all freshened up. Saxony shop freshened it.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like it's more to do with my shifter adjustment, maybe, possibly, but I haven't torn into it that far yet, so nice. And then have you put it on the scale by any chance?
I haven't.
Okay. And this concludes today's video. Thanks guys for watching. I want to remind you to go ahead and drop a comment if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you soon. I will get updates on the Falcon, and I'll try and get you guys some of that content.